What is up, guys? This is Mitchell or Deity, and here we are with episode 9 of the guide. So where we left off last time, I gave you a big checklist of things to work on. I want you to make sure you finish that. We'll go over all of that real quick. Those of you that are working ahead, maybe you've gotten the hero selector. The character I want you to get from the second selector is going to be Rowana for the 14-day login. It's a normal selector. Grab Rowana. She's going to be great for PvE. Now, if you have Rowana, a couple other good options that you can get would be a Knockwall. I accidentally grabbed Knockwall from the ticket, and I already had her. Another great character would be Peyra. So Peyra would have been a great pickup for me. And then Abigail could be another solid option for you. So sadly, I messed up my selector a second ago whenever I started recording this video. But it is what it is. But the first choice would be Rowana, and then from there, it doesn't really matter. You can pick whichever one you like. Rowana is the last character from a non-max selector that we'll be using to progress our account. So if you already have her, you're good to go. Now, other characters would be Asaria. She's going to be great. We have her on this account. We are going to use her for some content. Now, going to the Dash Pass. As you finish up this week's Dash Pass, the characters I want you to get, which once I get there in the guide, I'll grab them for you to watch. But I'm going to be grabbing Polytus from Max Selector. Even if we already have Polytus, getting a maxed out Polytus is super value. And you can technically have two Polytuses, one on damage and one on effectiveness. High effectiveness build, one high damage build. It's great. So if you already have Polytus, I would still grab her from this. On the third week, we're going to be grabbing Ravi. We need a character that can fight ML Landy if we're going to be getting into RTA. That is our current first three that we're going to be getting. From there, it's probably going to be Arya, Ran. We're grabbing Ran for PvE and PvP. Arya will just be a great character to have maxed out. And the last selector, I'm probably going to let you guys choose. I'll give you a list of characters and you pick whichever one you want. That way, everyone has a little bit of flexibility and customization in their account. We don't all have the exact same account. But I'll show you guys what I picked still, too. Now, with the artifact selectors, the second artifact selector is very hard. All the artifact selectors from here on out, it's going to come down to what characters you have on your account. If you have a Moonlight Landy, you want to grab Eldritch Ritual Sword if you don't have it yet. If you have a Lone Crescent Bologna, ML Bologna, you want to grab Sigurd Scythe. If you have it always is going to come down and depend on the character. If you have Moonlight Haste, you're going to grab Celestine. You're going to need to do some research, find out what your best character is, grab the best artifact for him. That is what every artifact selector from here is going to be. Find your best character, figure out what the best artifact on that character is, ask around. That's why we have the Discord server. That's why the Epic 7 community is awesome. You can go in. There's a billion different places you can go. As streamers, you see a streamer live, go ask what is the best artifact on this character if they're an in-game streamer, and they'll give you an answer, and then you can try to grab that from here. Now, some of the artifacts will be limited, so you'll have to find what artifact is available in this ticket. Now, let's do our Moonlight summons. So I have not gotten anything new on this account since last time. I did do some summons and stuff, but no 5 stars that were notable, or even I don't think there's any 5 stars to begin with at all, besides that stupid Knockwall I just pulled from messing up my selector. But overall, we have 3 ML5s on this account outside of our original one, so I'm super happy. And we're going to get a 4th one in, what, 4 days? Yeah, we got 4 more days, and we'll get this last one. So here's another 5-star ticket. So again, if you see you have a 5-star ticket coming up, try... Oh, another Wukong. I already have him. Okay, so there's 2 Wukongs. Now, the next up, I'll do my daily summon, and then we're going to get rocking. So the first thing we're going to be covering, everybody, is going to be the expedition teams. That's the first thing I want us to do. Go in, and we're going to crank out our expedition teams. This is part of the guide where I'm going to be kind of teaching you guys to be on your own for building things. Okay, I'm going to give you kind of a base stat line, show you my version of it, and then you're just going to have to get as close as you can. Okay, I can't walk you through every single part from here, step by step, with all the exact same gear, because we're going to be crafting. We're all going to end up having different gear. So that's going to be the challenge. Oh, I have a Moonlight summon. Let's do that before we go any further. But that is going to be one of the biggest challenges for you guys. Is you're going to have to start learning how to gear your characters, and I think this is the best step I can have you do to start learning. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do this one Moonlight summon, and then we'll get rocking on the next part. Dang. Spark! Dang. Shooting Star Arcades. Okay, so Shooting Star Arcades is actually used in a Labyrinth Cheese team. So another character that would be great to grab would be Euphine from the tickets. So having a Euphine would be fantastic, because with that character mixed with her, you can do a way to get a bunch of extra charms. Because I'm sure any of you guys that are to this point, maybe you haven't followed the crafting guide yet, but there is a crafting guide. It's technically part 8.5 of the guide series. After you get through episode 8, I had you guys farm up 10,000 charms. Then we did a little crafting session. And we got some overall, a couple decent pieces of gear that we can use. Pretty happy with the session, but I did a full-on video, a guide to where you can go in there, learn about crafting. I'll link it in the description, but you'll need to go back and do that. Okay, there will actually be quite a few videos linked in the description of this. Now, what I wanted you guys to do before the end of last video, the first thing was I wanted to 6-star your Sermia, 6-star your Mercedes, 6-star your Lorena, and I wanted you to 6-star your Camilla, or 5-star, sorry, 5-star Camilla. You do not need to go to 6-star. So those 3 6-star characters are going to be the backbone of our expeditions and the backbone of some of our other PvE clearing content. So these 3 characters are all pretty fantastic. Go ahead, make sure they're all 6-starred, and then your Camilla, make sure she's 5-starred. If you do not have Camilla yet, Camilla, those of you that do not know, maybe you missed part of the last guide, she is in recruits, and you need to do 10 clan bosses. Okay, so she might take you a little bit to get. Some of you may still be working on her, but she will take you 10 clan bosses. Again, I also wanted you guys to be going in and doing your Lorena missions to get her specialty change. We need Lorena specialty change. And do your daily grabbing of everything, grab your guild stuff every single day. Make sure you go into the labyrinth, to the charm shop, try to find charms. Go to the goblin, try to find charms. That's a hard routine to get into. But for the rest of this video, I'm going to come back in a second. We're going to gear up all those characters that I just told you about. I got to go finish Lorena, especially change. I forgot to do that. But I'll go and do all of that. Come back, we gear our characters. I'll show you the expedition teams. They are all, I tested them, they worked. I did the YouTube guide account. If you're following along with the stream guide account, you saw those teams. But I'll give you a stat line to aim for on each character. Next up, I'm probably going to do Guild Wars. I'm going to show just what Guild Wars looks like and talk about it a little bit. And then that'll probably be it for this video. But then I'll give you a checklist of a bunch of stuff to work on before the next part of the guide. So this guide, I'll give you enough stuff to work on for a few days. But hopefully I can get the next episode of the guide out tomorrow for you. So then maybe if you're ahead right now, I'll give you a list. Maybe by the next video, even if you're not caught up, then you have something to watch once you get done, because I need you guys going in the right direction with progression. So I will be back in just a second to show you guys the overall builds and everything on the characters. Okay, so now that we're going to go ahead and show the characters, a couple things I want you to do, all right, before you get too far. You guys might hate me for this, but we're going to go ahead and start character specialty change. You do have to clear Spirit Altar under 50 times. So if you want to, you can, if you've already done a ton of Spirit Altar, then you can take your gems and spend them to finish this. It's your choice. Doing the Spirit Altars, obviously you get the rewards, but either way you do it, you can do the gems. Try to do the 500 machinery and do the trial battle and all that first, but don't spend the full gems, because you can just give sick cold look. There's a lot of gems, and if I finish this, it'll go down to like 200, I believe. So I want you guys to do that first, all right? And then, so start character specialty change, and hopefully you guys are at the spot in the Arc Special Operations where you need to clear so many Spirit Altars. All right, if you're not there, I'm sorry I didn't suggest this earlier. Hopefully you guys don't get to. I mean, it's not a big deal, but I still feel bad. Now, the next thing I want you to do is go down, and I want you to be finishing your Mologora challenge, all right? So go through, finish up your Mologora challenge. Here's some extra charms, decent rewards all around. And once you finish this, a lot of you have already done this. This is fine. I just didn't go ahead and grab this. This is going to be giving you boxes that have crafting materials in them. So those crafting materials we generally use for sets outside of Wyvern if you pull specific characters. So say you have a Moonlight Landy and want to get a counter set on her, or a Blood Moon Haste and you want counter set, or a character you want to go for a protection set on for some reason. These boxes are for that. Okay, so once you do that, then you're going to end up getting the new hunt challenge, or the new Mologora challenge will start. And then also make sure as you're upgrading characters, you're switching between your hunts. We've almost finished all of this. The only thing I have to go back and do is beat the hunts so many times. So now the new Mologora challenge will start. You need to clear hunt so many times. These are reforged boxes. These are change stone boxes. That's for expeditions. Arena, you'll just get some Cogos points and a bunch of charms. So this is fantastic. And then the last one is going to be just consuming energy. So you just get a bunch of extra rewards. Another thing, if you haven't finished adventures for New Path, go ahead and go do that. I'm going to do that right after this video. This gives you 20 charms of both types and some extra gold. Always nice. So make sure you go and finish all that. Now, with the Arc Special Operation, hopefully you guys are starting to get to a point where you get this rage set. This rage set, if you've already gotten it, nice. If you haven't yet, though, just keep grinding. You're going to have to do Arena. There is the cheese in Arena. You can go into a draft mode game and leave instantly. Every time you do that, it counts as one. I am going to do that a little bit tonight to power this up or get through this faster. But we want to get these 4 pieces of gear, and we're going to put it on our Sigret. Okay, so these 4 rage set pieces, we're going to get them, upgrade them, put them on Sigret. As you see, I've already gotten the first one here. It is the sword, so I'm going to lock it. I did just finish that. We'll upgrade it. Your goal is pray you don't hit speed, honestly. You want as much damage as possible. If it does end up being super fast, you see this rolling terrible. It's 2 minerals already. But it's a rage set. It's going to be amazing no matter what. and it's going to go on your cigarette. So your cigarette will have a rage set. It's going to help you clear hunt way faster. Okay, now that we've done all that, it is Expedition Level 3 team time. So I'm going to go ahead and show the builds for the characters right now. I'm going to go ahead and move my face cam. Sirmia. I didn't put many Mologoras into this. You don't really need to. You can put them as you want them, but I just did the cheapest Molas investment because it's PvE. You Mola characters for PvE as you see the need to if you want a little bit more damage. But going into the build, I do need to put an attack boot on my Sirmia. So I will just go ahead and say, let's do these boots. That's fine. We're going to enhance them. Let's just go as high as it'll let me go for now. It's plus 14. So we'll go into that. And it's basically almost plus 15. So looking at this, the stat line is almost good enough. Now, as you see, it's just on, I mean, she is on speed set, but you can do completely broken set. This is where I want you guys to learn how to do your gear upgrading and everything. Gear upgrading and just gearing characters to begin with. The next thing is her best EE is a 25% chance for an extra attack. You'll put that one on, and then for artifact, anything that gets damage. This one isn't great, but Hell Cutter, if you don't get 100 crit chance, can help you out big time. So right here, if I were to switch my necklace to a crit damage necklace, if I have any available, which I don't, there's no free ones, that's why I didn't put one on. But if you have a crit damage necklace, this will allow you to get a little bit extra crit chance on her, and it's not a bad artifact, gives you a 4-star to clear. Our goal is to just have level 3 expedition teams spending the least amount of resources, and we won't have to touch them. Okay, next up we have this Mercedes. As you see, it's got some free gear. I need to upgrade this. Probably don't have any charms really. I got enough. I'll just upgrade it plus 15. If you have Goblin Gear is your best friend for this because you don't have to spend resources hardly to upgrade Goblin Gear, and it's going to have good stats. So, see, I have a random HP helmet that has crit damage and attack and flat attack. That's good. So, their damage dealers want them with 100 crit chance and just as much damage as possible. We don't care about speed too much because the characters are going to be mostly dual attacking in these comps. I'm going to be showing you. Next up, you're going to have your Brig. As you see, my Brig has always been on free HP gear. Ideally, you want to level up him all the way to the max. I'm just going to go ahead and take this piece all the way up. We got defense. It's great. So 27,000 HP. I have him on Aureus. So this I can upgrade as well. So just go ahead and put this. We will not regret 4 HP. Nice. So 27,800 HP. That's solid. I'm very happy with that. I don't need to upgrade his sword. Now our Celine, still the same, but we're not using her. Our Lorena. So Lorena. This is a specially changed character. Hopefully you guys want to specially change. I just put the birthday cake on her. Again, your overall, you just want damage. You don't have to go this fast. This is just, I hit equip all, and this is the gear it put on her, so I took it. And honestly, it's fine. Whenever I go and use her for other content, I will probably... Actually, no, you want attack boots on her. So don't try to build her this fast. I just have to because I don't have a lot of attack boot options. So realistically, this would be a better build. Maybe if I get a little bit more crit chance, this would be fantastic. Because you'll see once we go into the overall expeditions, you want her slower because she gets guaranteed extra turns. Now the last character that we have is, well, Tamarin. So Tamarin, whatever artifact you want to put on her is fine. She's going to be used in all 3 expeditions that we do. Wondrous Potion Vial, like I always say, generally the best artifact you can have for her. So this is the overall stat line. Good enough. With Brig, it'll keep her alive. So her gear is all the way leveled up, and since she's a support, I don't care about the sword that much for now. Next up, we're going to go down to the last character I want you guys to mess with is going to be this, Camilla. Camilla is a free connection character. You do have to do 10 world bosses, so it'll take you 5 days or so once you get her challenge unlocked. But it'll take you 5 days, you'll get her done, and you're good to go. I think it might be retroactive, but I'm not sure. You just have to go beat that stage, and she is in the recruitment tab. Okay, and now with her, doesn't matter what gear set you put on her, your overall goal, just leave her level 50. You want her bulky to survive. Okay, so we want a little bit of bulk on her, and we want her below 180 speed. So try to get within like the 165 to 175 speed range. The reason for this, so the slower she is, we can just full auto Dark Expedition. We don't have to worry about it. If she's too fast and goes before Dark Expedition boss, she'll put up buffs and the boss will just strip them right back off. And then she also uses her non-attack skill right away, so then you end up getting hurt more. So it's just a very, very good thing to build her below 180 speed for this. Okay, and then as much bulk as possible. Your target effectiveness is 85, I believe, because I think the bots have 100. Aim for around 80 or above if you can. Don't go too crazy on it, but somewhere between 80 and 95, you'll be fine. The reason we're putting that on, the only reason, is she has a 40% chance of defense break. Now, if you're curious in terms of Molagora, she's a 3-star, so we're just going to do her skill 2. I did do her skill 1 because it was barely any stigma. Next up, we have our Lorena, though. Our Lorena, we plus 15. This character is going to be used in a ton of content for us. So I'm going to go ahead and go into her Awakening tree now. So if you go to Awaken, since she's a specially changed character, you are going to need to go in and do this, okay? You want every single ability on her unlocked. We're going to be using her a ton, right? She's a fantastic free 3-star unit. Probably one of the better ones. Well, better one up until Aiden. Aiden is better for PvP, whereas Lorena is just the 3-star PvE monster. But you're going to put this all the way up. In terms of it, this is another reason to farm runes. So any of you guys that still need to farm runes for Carrot or for your challenge for the Archie Special Operations, this is great. So go ahead and do her, and these are our teams. Okay, so I went over all the gear. Again, the extra attack on skill 1, because your idea is you're trying to dual attack with almost all these characters as possible, so you don't need to build any of them very fast. All of them could be on attack boots. But now we're going to go in and do the expedition teams. I'm not going to run them on this. I will link, there are going to be 3 videos linked below this. It's going to be your expedition teams. I'll link the live stream. You can go through and watch the teams work, and my builds on the other account, so you'll see 2 different versions of each of these builds. It's just all dependent on what the gear you ended up getting is. But if we go into our teams, we have our fire expedition, which is this. Okay, we have Brieg, Tamarin, this, and Camilla and Lorena. And then next up, we have our grass. Our grass, we're actually switching from what I was originally thinking we were going to do. I did some testing on the other account. This is just great. So we're going to do this instead. This was able to get the points needed. The first time you run grass, you may need to manual it and soul burn Raz every single time to dual attack with your Mercedes. But when you do the first one, just manual it, get your 350k, and then from there, auto every single one past that. Okay, next up, we have our Dark Expedition. So Dark Expedition, this is a team. So you see Camilla got used in all of them. She's a super good character. Now this one, all of them, you can just go in immediately full auto, and you'll be good to go. The overall damage I was doing was I was doing about 1.2 million damage with this team on crappy gear. Okay, 1.2 million damage. Now, if your Lorena's on speed boots, you won't deal as much damage. You want her on attack boots, but this is just going to have to work for me. Maybe some of you guys will have to do attack boots as well, or speed boots as well, because the game is giving us a ton of free speed boots right now. Then the Grass Expedition, this team ends up being about 400k average is what I was getting, and the Dark team's about 600k average, which is all perfect. Your goal for expeditions after you beat the first one is just doing at least about 200 to 250k and getting out. Okay, now the way expeditions work, if you guys haven't done them yet, you should have. You're going to go into an expedition. You are going to have to beat a level 2 and then a level 3 of each kind. So I'm going to have to open this up, and I'm going to have to open up the other ones. But you'll just go in, and as you see my Camilla, I'll just do this one for an example while we talk for a second. And our Tamarin is faster than him, but it's fine. As long as Tam's the only one faster, you're good to go. My Surmi is almost faster. So your goal is to try to be below like 175 speed. So aim for 160 to 165, up to 175 is the max. Try not to go above 175, meaning no speed boots for Camilla, basically. All right, so once you go into this, though, as long as you do that, as you see, every time you use a non-attack skill, you get the buff off. So if Surmia is faster than the boss, it's not a big deal either. And then Surmia, we have the EE on her. Hopefully, eventually, we'll be able to see. And again, we have no molas on her at all. Hardly. It's like +3 on each skill and then +1 in the middle. The biggest one is you want to upgrade the middle skill on Surmia. So right here with that EE, she's attacking multiple times. She could do it again here. There we go. So your run's going to be completely random as to how much you score. But with Brieg, make sure he has at least 40 effectiveness because he gets 50 from using skill 3. You'll have enough effectiveness to hit. If you look here, they have 70 effectiveness. Oh, that's level 2. I believe it's 100. I believe it's 85 effectiveness you need on these characters. So you just let this go. That's all you need. And eventually you'll end up scoring. I mean, this is a level 2, so it's not the best example, but I'll let this run out. And what else are we working on? Let's talk about that. Next up, we're going to be pushing through episode 4. Okay, hopefully you guys have already gone a little ways. I'm halfway through it. I made sure I got halfway through before I started this video. And then whenever you're going through episode 4, if you can start doing the Aiden quest along the way, it'll make it a lot easier. So I'll go and explain all that, but those of you guys that are waiting. Again, Polytus from second selector, max selector, Rowana from your regular selector. If you already have her, I gave the options at the beginning of the video of other things, but as long as you have Rowana, it doesn't really matter who you take. I did list my top picks though. And then your artifact just depends on your artifact selector is just whatever. Okay, whatever you think you need at the time, whatever is the best character you have, go and do the research as to what their normal artifact is. Okay, that is the best advice I can give. Having everyone grab the same artifacts from here is pointless if you don't have the characters we're grabbing the artifacts for. All right. So right here, you see, this is the team. Occasionally I have a run that goes crazy because your Surmia just every single time procs the extra attack. Right there, 25k, extra 25k, 25k. Didn't proc though. So I could have got another 25k right there. So this team is going to be super safe, super easy, as long as you build them with the correct speed. If you build your Camilla too fast, I was finding if I went in full auto, my team would die. Okay, because she uses her skill and that electrify damage, that whenever you have the electric buff above you, the issue with that is it does HP based damage. So your breed will be taking 3,000 to 4,000 every time a character on your team takes a turn. It's a lot of damage. So you do not want that. This will probably actually one-shot this. Now, the next thing after doing story, though, is I'm going to have you guys clear up to Abyss 90. So I said there's going to be 3 videos linked in the description of this. One of the videos is going to be the expedition team, so you can see all the other expedition teams, how they work, and see another account with the builds, because I want you guys to learn how to build your characters, going through your gear, clicking on each one, and seeing the overall stats. So that'll be a resource you could use and watch me build it instead of watching me in here. And so this video would be, well, I guess a little shorter. I don't really care about the length of the video at this point. But after that, I'm going to link the Abyss 80 to 85, and then Abyss, or I think it's 80 to 84, and then 85 to 89. And I want you guys to clear up to Abyss 90. You don't need to beat 90 yet, but get to Abyss 90. And then I will make new guides going over Abyss 90 to 100. And that way you'll have that to follow. 92 is a hard one. 98 is a hard one. All right, so there we go. 700K on this. It'll be about the same on the next one too, for the next difficulty. So your goal is, again, to get 350K, and then you just open recruitment, okay? The reason we're doing expeditions, we need to get 50 of them done. All right, 50 expeditions, because we have our challenges for our Moonlight Blessing too, right? So 50 expeditions is what we need to do for getting him fully unlocked. Now, with expeditions, though, a lot of you are going to ask this question. Is the premium supply pass worth it? The answer is not for free-to-play players, okay? I'd never buy this on my main account. The rewards are okay. I mean, overall, the rewards are not bad. 3 Mulgore is great. 3 of these boxes are great. And the reforged materials are great. But it's like very even value. It's not like great value. It's just you're getting basically what you pay for in terms of Skystones, but it's 1,500. So a champion arena player only gets 3,200 a month from arena, meaning that's not really that worth it. That's half your monthly Skystones get dumped into this, because this resets every month. You can go through. The free rewards are enough. Never feel the need to buy the premium supply pass unless you're a spender that just wants the extra rewards. Okay, now that is that question answered. The next thing, again, that I want you guys to do is go through and be clearing chapter 5. So if you see here, I am to 5.8, so I'm basically halfway through. Once I beat chapter 5, then we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'll have 5 more. All right, so we're technically a little under halfway, but that is the overall goal. Next up, I want you to be working on your Awakened Aiden, though. Okay, these missions suck. The best advice I can give to you is do these as you're going through if you can, or at least try to break it up. This sucks. These missions, worst part of the game right now, and has been for years. But once this is done, you never have to do it again, and you have Aiden, and she's super, super good. So you see the last version here is Light Aiden. This is the overall goal that we are going for. This character is amazing. She used to be, for even the highest level of PvP, first picked. A lot of people were picking her very, very early when she first came out because they didn't want their opponents to get her, and she was just super, super strong in that meta. She's fallen off a bit, but for new players, she's going to be one of your best characters that you could possibly build with the free gear that you get. Okay, you're going to want to do this. So the barrier to entry to RTA is going and getting your Moonlight 5 or your Moonlight Blessing number 2. So Death Dealer Ray, if you're following the guide, him unlocked and fully awakened and usable. Next up, we want to get Aiden. With those 2 characters, then we go back and build up a roster. I'm going to be making guides going through all that, showing you what the best characters to pick, how to make your roster, and everything. That'll be probably about episode 12 is looking like, is the current goal. So that is coming. I will show you guys how to get an RTA, how to create a roster for RTA, and then we're also clearing all PVs. So now we have all our level 3 expedition teams done. That's done forever. And as you get Goblin gear, guys, every single day do your 10 Goblin gear. And as you get decent Goblin gear, the more you mess with your character builds and kind of are learning, building these PvE expedition characters, you're going to go, any good piece you get from this, you'll level it up, switch it out for one of your pieces on one of those characters, and then you're going to keep expanding your roster. So you're going to, any piece that has attack percent main stat boots, you see, that's what I'm missing. I know I need attack percent main stat boots to get more damage out of my characters. I need those to drop from goblins. So if I get an attack percent boot that has flat attack, crit damage, speed, crit chance, any combination, maybe some effectiveness as one of the substats, I'm taking it. I'm going to take it and level it. And that is going to be a banger piece for PvE for me. And as you keep getting more pieces of Goblin gear, just go and check your teams and be like, can I upgrade this at all or switch it out? Maybe get one of the really good pieces off one of the characters if you have to use them to now free that great piece of gear up for PvP and then put a worse piece of gear on it for PvE if it does close to the same job. Okay, because PvE is already super easy and clearable. Save all your really good gear for PvP. Okay, once that is all done, going through the Aiden quest, everything. Again, go through Abyss. I want you guys to push all the way up to Abyss 90. As you see, I'm at 61. I got some work to do. It's mostly just auto. All the way up to 80, you're just full autoing. Once you get to 80, I'll have the videos out. It'll teach you how to beat all the stages from 80 to 89. So just follow along those. It might use a little bit different teams, but use your brain. This is a good learning experience. You can try out some different things, different characters that we have, because we have a ton more characters on this account than I've ever had in any of my old guide accounts because of the 6th anniversary event. So that will be the next goal. So get up to Abyss 90. And my other goal for you is try as close as you can to getting Aiden finished, as well as getting to the end of chapter 3 or 4. Okay, there are a couple bosses in this. There's a Yulha fight that if you don't read her abilities is annoying. I have a video for that. Okay, so that video, I will probably put it in the description of the next video in case you guys get stuck. It is on my second YouTube channel. It's called Deity Rerolled. Next up, there is going to be the Zeo 10-5 fight. Kind of annoying. You have to know what you're doing. You attack certain characters. If you need help with that, I'll probably upload that. And then there's a Lua fight that can be a little annoying as well. But the cool thing with Epic 7 now is when you're doing a boss battle, if you have them close to dead, you could spend 50 Sky Stones to finish off the boss. Sometimes it's worth just doing that. Okay, if you're ever at the end of a boss that has 10 HP, just spend the 50 Sky Stones. Save yourself the time. You get 50 Sky Stones a day for free from your dailies. Just your dailies, not including anything else. So spending 50 Sky Stones to finish off a boss, if you get in too much trouble, then do that. The Yulha fight, though, if you don't read and you spend 50 Sky Stones, you might only half HP her. So that's one you probably don't want to. But in terms of Lua and the other Zeo fights, you can just spend Sky Stones and beat it. I will give you a team comp for beating Zeo on next video. But for right now, that's your overall goal. Clear this and clear Aiden Quest. Right, those are some of the main things I want you to do. Again, we're going to be working on specialty change for our Carrot, and then if you want to, you can start Montmorency. We're probably going to use her as well, so maybe the next one, I'll just have you guys open this just in case you want to always be progressing multiple things. So let me start Montmorency. We're going to be using her for Labyrinth, I think. I have the team set up for that, but if you do our specialty change, it's not going to hurt just having it done. Okay, that is all of the main points that I have. I'm going to cut the video here. I'm going to come back in a second and see if there's anything I can think of lastly that I want you to do, but that is part 9 of the guide. So I will see you all in a second, and then I'll close out the video. Okay, the only last things I wanted you guys to do is keep pushing your arena. Okay, one of the other challenges for unlocking your Moonlight 5 is getting up to Challenger Arena. 230 losses, jeez, what's my defense team? All right, maybe go and set a defense team, guys. I'm just going to set this. I will set my Celine. That's insane. Okay, I'm glad I waited to click on that on stream because that is funny. All right, I'm just going to set Spectre Zebra. She'll be fine. So those are probably our strongest characters we can do right now. So I'll go ahead and put them in, and then we're good to go. So now I have arena defense. That's kind of tough. But I want you going in. I'm in gold. I got farmed all the way down to gold 4. Okay, make sure you go and set an arena defense. Hopefully this didn't happen to you guys. Hopefully you updated it. I just got farmed from like midway through Masters all the way down to beginning gold. So I'm going to have to spend some Sky Stones to climb back up. But our overall goal is to get to Challenger Arena. Okay. Holy moly, I got some work to do. Okay, so just go back in and keep farming. Hopefully you guys didn't get attacked down too far. That is 230 losses is a lot. You guys are grinding. New players are going crazy. Okay, so grind that up. As you see on the missions here, we need to get to Death of the Ray. Right, Death of the Ray, we will need to get to Challenger 5 Arena. So I will go spend some Sky Stones and I will refresh and I will grind up. Okay, that's going to be annoying. Next up, I want you to do your guild and everything every day and go buy charms from whatever the 2 stages I showed you in episode 2, I believe, of the guide. Go buy the charms from those 2 shops. And then from there, I want you to, again, be doing your Labyrinth token entries. Always do your world boss because that's going to be missions for your Camilla, if you have not gotten Camilla yet. So maybe you're to this point, you haven't got Camilla. But the last thing, the video is done at this point, okay? I'm going to do Guild Wars. So this is just going to be an extra part of the video. We're just going to go in, we're going to do Guild Wars. I want to just talk about it real quick. Going in, you want to just try stuff, okay? You're going to learn the characters. If there's a character, you know what it does, then that's good. You can go in and take your team. So the idea generally for early Guild Wars is we're going to be abusing Spectre Tenebria. Abusing Spectre Tenebria, she's uncounterable on her skill. So most of the time, these 3 characters will be your safest team right here. So if you can find a fight that there is only single target damage dealers, which is going to take you a while to learn, then go for it with this team right here. Okay, your secondary team is just going to be a conglomeration of whatever. So this guy has an Abyssal Euphine. That kind of sucks. I'm just going to take this. I'm going to take, I guess, Mercedes. She'll work. And then maybe Adventure Raz. Yeah, let's take Adventure Raz, I guess. This, I don't see me beating it. Abyssal Euphine is very, very hard to kill, especially having a secondary Reviver behind it. But this will just be my second team. But if it works, it works. If it doesn't, oh well. All right, so let's go in and do this. But the general thing is just do your Guild Wars. Go in. It doesn't matter if you lose. No one cares. Okay, if you're a new player trying to learn the game, just go in and do the fight. If you lose your character forever. All right, not forever, but for the rest of the time. So right here with Spectre Tenebria, the issue is there is Curse. But with Spectre Tenebria, I doubt this ML is a proper ML. So what I'm going to do is just S3 since I have Curse anyway. Her Spectre Tenebria's S1 cannot be countered. Her S3 can be countered. So as I guess, there's no effectors on that. So I'm just going to go ahead and boost up Spectre Tenebria now. And this should end up working. You guys know all my builds at this point. You've seen all the different characters that I have. So we'll go in. My next goal is I want to try to take out the Abigail as fast as possible. So hopefully we can defense break it here. I do have 90 effectiveness. Let's see. No, we cannot. And we did crit on Brieg, which is unfortunate. So you see, every time you crit, ML Ken's going to counter you. You're going to have to learn each of these characters. It's going to be probably pretty annoying, but Spectre Tenebria generally is your hard carry for early arena. That is a crappy dual attack because Curse is going to hit me pretty hard. Okay, then from here, I'm just going to S1 and pray we don't crit. Okay, good. Now we're going to get hit. I'll probably only do one fight, but I just wanted to show you guys Guild Wars because I haven't talked about it yet. So I'm going to try to attack this so I don't crit. There is elemental advantage in the game, so you get an extra 15 crit if you attack something you have elemental advantage against. So the ML Ken's going to hit us here. We'll take a lot of damage. Okay, next up, the Abigail hit us again. It's going to, again, do quite a bit of damage, but we have Destina. We'll click S3 here, and we shouldn't be able to die from this point. Our goal is building up souls for Spectre Tenebria to soul burn, and then eventually we'll end up winning. But right here, he has skill 3 again. It's going to, Abigail keeps the backline character alive, so there's no point to go for Moonlight Ken right away. Our overall goal is to try to get this Abigail out as fast as possible. And we still haven't killed it yet. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you if you crit Ken. Let's see if we crit him. We did. So when you crit Ken, he will counter you and deal, look at that damage. Okay, I might have just thrown the fight. But the cool thing is just learning. Okay, that's your overall goal with doing Guild Wars. Maybe I should just lose these 2 games just to show you guys that it does not matter if you win or lose. Okay, so right here, Angelica does have S2. It's going to heal that. This is going to hit me, deal decent damage, but now my Spectre Tenebria can S3 the Moonlight Ken. After Abigail procs 1 time, you don't have to worry about it because it cannot proc it multiple times. So this will kill this. Now we're at a point that there's pretty much no way we're going to lose. We'll boost up Spec 10. We did lose Brieg, though. Again, that's actually good, so I could show this. Whenever you lose a character, they're gone forever for the rest of that Guild War. And then there we go. But aim for single target teams with Spectre Tenebria and just bring Tank, Destina, Spectre Tenebria. It's one of the reasons I had you guys pick Destina at the beginning. She's great for this. Now, this fight is going to suck. Okay, this guy actually has real gear. I don't see myself being able to beat him. I have to go all in on the Euphine, and then when he revives, I got to pray I hit Euphine. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to S2 and pray we defense break. We did. And yes, it's enough. Okay, good. So she'll revive, my Celine will proc, and then I'll skill 3 on my Mercedes and hopefully re-kill the Euphine. So maybe this kills Euphine here. It didn't. It goes for Brieg. And then we will burn this. So Soul Burn deals... extends buff duration. Never mind. We're not going to burn this. We're just going to skill 3. And we pray that this kills the Euphine and we're good to go. So Abyssal Euphine is a very, very strong character. But you're going to learn this kind of stuff over time. You got to go in and learn what each character does. It's not going to be an instant thing. But over time, you'll get stronger. And you got to go through the losses, okay? That's just part of the game. Go through the losses. Keep learning. So right here, we just bop. And now if you use as a non-attack skill, again, we're good. Mercedes, if you skill 2 and she has attack buff, she hits twice. So bang. And then that does the same amount of damage. Mercedes' new buff's pretty good. So there you go. I used some PvE characters mixed with PvP, and we're able to win both Guild War fights. But again, that's a knowledge thing. You got to learn the characters. Just go in and lose. Go in and try to win. But if you lose... try to figure out why you lost. That's the secret to getting better at anything in life is figure out why you lost. All right. Or why whatever you tried to do didn't work. That is the best advice I can give you. So now here, as you see, Brieg is dead. We cannot use Brieg. Brieg is dead. Unfortunate. So in Guild Wars, he will be revived next Guild War, but for this Guild War, he's done. So anytime a character dies when you're doing Guild Wars, you cannot use them. That is all I'm going to show for this. So I'm not going to do the rest of them on stream or on this video. I will do individual specific Guild War videos. If you guys want them, I will make them, and I'll try to teach you guys each character. You can watch along, learn what I say, and see different matchups. I'm going to be doing the same thing for RTA. So between maybe if you want me to do the Guild War videos with the RTA videos, then you'll have a bunch of different content you could watch, and I'll explain all the characters like I just did through that fight. Okay, and I'll take some, like I S1 the MLK to show you guys what it does. But that is going to be the end of this video. I gave you guys a checklist of things to do. Abyss 90, clear chapter 4 as far as you can. Try to work on Aiden specially change quests, and do your expedition level 3s. Okay, expedition level 3s, you get good rewards, plus you need to finish 100 of them for the Mullen missions and 50 of them for your other missions. Those are your 3 goals. Those 3 goals take days generally. So hopefully you guys are good for a while. I'm going to go grind. Again, arena, try to get to champion arena as well. I got some grind to do. I got 200 defense losses. That's it for the video. Thanks for watching. It's been Mr. Deity. I'll see you all in part 10 of the guide, which will be beating Zeo and starting to get our PvP teams figured out. Peace out.